Hello, welcome back to Veg Plot. It's another wonderful day. We're having such a wonderful spring and start to the year. It's fantastic. Anyway, we're in the polytunnel at the moment, but we are going to pop up the garden in a minute. I'll show you the greenhouse, show you all the crops that I've got to go and plant up at the allotment. Then we might pop up to the allotment as well, because I've got some really interesting climbing courgettes, or what are they called? Zucchini, I think you call them in America. Yeah, courgettes up there, climbing ones. So I've got to put another stake in. So I've got to take one of these stakes up to go and bang that in for that. I've been busy in the polytunnel as well. We've been clearing out the beds. If you remember, this had all the lovely peppermint chard in. That's all gone outside now. I'll just show you. It's gone outside, and I've been quite busy hanging baskets as strawberries. They're doing okay, but yeah, I've basically brought them outside, potted them up, but I really don't think they've liked it much, because what I'm trying to do is actually save the seed for next year, but we shall see. Anyway, let's just pop back into polytunnel. We've got the tomatoes to look at. Now, if you remember, a few videos ago I did this, I'll do a picture here or something, yeah, where I snipped out the tips of most of my tomatoes. So we're going to have a quick look through those and see how they've sort of done with the side shoots and splitting off, because I want to grow off 2 or 3 sort of stems this year for each tomato. In order to fit more tomatoes in, I'm going to do something different this year. I'm going to take down these weld mesh. I'm going to unhook them, put them somewhere safe, and then that should give me an extra place to grow the tomatoes. And I should get an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tomato plants in here with that. But I'm then going to perhaps grow the cucumbers down the middle here in this middle bed, along with the basil. So yeah, things to change around this year. Okay, the first thing I want to do though now is I want to get the onions out, and I want to pot these up into these big tubs so that we can grow them on in there, because they're just they're not ready yet by any means. I'm not sure if doing this will work or if they'll just go straight to seed, but whatever it is, they can't stay here anyway. I need to get the tomatoes in. Right, okay, let's get on, water the ground here, and then we'll lift these up. Let's get some water. If you ever get water butt, actually, it's always good to get these really wide mouth topped ones. I mean, some go in, but some have this big wide top, and it means you can just dip your watering can in and grab what you need. It's really useful. Right, I've no idea actually if this will help, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to water them, give them a good soaking first, and then hopefully when I lift them, the soil will be moist around them and they'll transfer better, transplant better, but we shall see. I'm hoping they don't all bolt. Who knows? Right, give that about 10 minutes to do its job, and then get the buckets ready. Right, while they're soaking, I thought we'd have a quick look at the tomatoes. Some have done better than others and they're sent up multiple side shoots, so we'll just have a look through them and I'll just show you how they've done. But this one, this is a black cherry, and as you can see, we took the tip out about just here a while ago and we've got this one very strong leader coming out, but we've also got another side branch here, which is good, so that will give me 2 very strong. But if I wanted more, I've got one here and one here, but I should probably plant this a bit deeper, probably up to about here, so I'll probably take these bottom ones out anyway. So that's black cherry, that one's done okay. What else have we got? We've got Summer of Love. Now this actually was probably my favorite tomato last year. I mean, Alice's Dream always makes usually top one, but last year this came in late. Summer of Love, just a beautiful, beautiful tomato. Anyway, again, you can see, excuse me, where we took the tip out, just here. And we've got this lovely 2 strong branches. We've got more lower down, but again, I'll take these leaves off probably and plant this quite deep, and then we'll just run these two stems. So that's Summer of Love, just done really well. Now Honeycomb, which is an F1 and a cherry, really delicious little beautiful yellow golden cherry. Seemed to do this really well last year when I took the tips out. You can see in the middle here I've taken the tip out here, and I've got these massively strong plant branches, side stems going off. So yeah, and most of them are the same. When I did it, I did notice that they were quite slow. It obviously did slow up the growth, but as you can see, they're a good couple of feet tall now. And what I did is I used some plant feed to help with that. I think it was a 777 plant feed from, I just got it at the local garden centre, Growmar Vitax liquid feed. So I just used that, and it really perked them up actually. It knocked all the yellowish out of them, and they've really shot up since then. So yeah, if you're struggling with your little baby tomatoes, maybe a little feed would help. But yeah, so I've got loads of these to plant, and all the others I showed behind you. This is Cherry Falls, and I grew this last year in the baskets in the greenhouse, which is where they're going to grow this year. They're going to go in big pots, but you can see we've got beautiful flowers on there already, and I think there's even a little tomato coming. So yeah, quite excited about those. These were the first to crop last year, and really bountiful. I had hundreds of tomatoes on each plant, so I recommend them. That's Cherry Falls. Okay, I think these probably soaked long enough, these onions now. Let's get these lifted and put into buckets. Right, I think first things first actually is I'm going to have these garlic out. They're probably not going to get much bigger, and as I say, I need the space. I don't think they're going to be very good. No, not very good at all, but they were put in a bit late. There's only a few of them. Let's have that out. Oh, that's not such a bad one. That one's okay. Yeah, did okay. Right, let's go and hang these up to dry. So all I do with these is put them up on this little rack here, just thread them through and hang them down to dry. Very easy. Just take the bulbs, put them down between the bits of wood and let them hang. I'll probably do this for a couple of weeks to let them dry out as much as possible. And then once they're dry, we'll plait them together, plait them together, and yeah, string them up. Although some of these are pretty useless, and in fact the ones up at the allotment aren't much good either. But anyway, some garlic's better than none. Let's bring this tub over here and see if we can lift some of these onions. So I'm just going to try and dig as much root for each one out as I can. And lift the whole thing in one go into the tub, and then we'll put soil in around it when it's done. And it's in there. Right, here we go. Right, there's one. I've got, you see this great hole here. I'm not too worried about that really. I've got plenty of that green waste compost and topsoil mix from the Green Waste Company, so I shall be replacing, you know, all these holes. Dig it over and we'll top it up with that. There we go. Right, it's not pretty, but we'll see if we can squeeze this in around the side there. That's one, two, and I think we might have room just for one more in here. We'll see how it goes. Tuck the roots in. Don't think that one's quite so successful, but we'll see. Right, 3. Okay, we'll fill up these holes and give them good water and see if they survive. I shall get on with all the others. I won't bore you doing all of them, but that's sort of roughly what I'm trying this year. If you've done this before, yeah, let me know in the comments what's the best way to do it. Right, blooming heavy, but they can stay out here for a bit, and we'll just water them in a minute. Right, there's another one. I'm going to fill that up with some compost. Right, I watered both those tubs in. I need one more tub, but I found this one with potatoes growing in it. Look, got a little potato, little new potato. So anyway, I'm going to dig those out, see what we've got. Here's another heavy tub. Right, put this down here. We'll get these potatoes out. Tiny little potatoes. Let's get these onions out, shall we? Right, there we go. Put that in there. That's 2. Prop that up. Wedge them in. Got just about room for one more. Right, take this outside, add some more compost like before, water them in, and then we'll get on, dig the bed and get ready for the tomatoes. It's getting really hot in this polytunnel now, so we're going to have to go and do another job. It's 33.6. Anyway, what I did with the onions, I did actually decide to take all those out, so they're all now out here in tubs, and we shall keep them watered, see how they do. So what I want to do now is go up to the greenhouse, and I've got to get that ready and sort that out and get all the grow bags in. Because I know somebody actually asked me about grow bags and the waterers I use, so I'll show you what I use up there. Before we do that though, do you want to see the Manpukuji carrots? Look at these, aren't they doing really well? Yeah, lots and lots in here. I've got another seedling coming up here, so I have to try and transplant that one. But yeah, beautiful. So I'm really hoping in this bin they get nice and long, and then yeah, we get some great carrots later in the year. Anyway, right, I've done enough in here. It's too hot. Let's go up the greenhouse, empty that out. There's a bit more in the shade up there. So as you can see, it's a bit chaotic in here still, and quite a lot to sort out. So yeah, you're not the only one if you're still in the same position as me, but I imagine you're way ahead. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, we've got the trees here, so we've got a little bit more shade. So what I shall do is, yeah, I'm going to empty this all out, put it all outside and arrange it how I want it, put the grow bags here onto their waterers, find homes for all this spare wood and netting and so on and so forth, and hopefully get this all set up ready today so we can get the tomatoes in. A little bit tidier. So right, these grow bag waterers that I use, okay, so they're made by a company called Hozelock. I don't know if they're everywhere in the world, but in the UK, this is who they're made by, Hozelock. And it has, I'm trying to hold it so I can show you. So we've got these little pillars here with holes in, and you can put canes in there to help support your tomatoes or whatever you're growing. You've got these little wedges in the middle, 4 of them, and I'll show you how they work in a minute. In fact, they're all the way around. And then in the front here, we've got a little hose thing, which you can click a hose part onto, if I can show you. One of these, and it just clicks on there, and then you can attach the hose to your mains so that you can fill them up just using a tap, which is very easy. If you don't have that, there's this slot here which you can pour water into, and basically this dial has a little float on it, if you can see that. It has a little float on it which floats to the top when it's full, and it will show when it's full. So when this is full of water, that will float to the top and you'll know that it's full. And so the spikes, these are they. It's a spike with a little bit of wicking fabric on it, and basically they go on to, if I can hold this, you hold the fabric apart, and then they go on these sort of pillars as I mentioned. And then what happens when this is full of water, the water gets wicked up the fabric here, and this blade, it's not a blade, it's just got a sharp serrated edge. You pop the grow bag on top and that punctures the bottom of the grow bag. And so with these 4 along here, it feeds water and feed up into the grow bag for the tomatoes and things. So these are really wonderful. I've had them probably nearly 10 years. I've never replaced the wicking fabric. and they still work fine. And all I do each year is I put a new grow bag on, like a giant grow bag, and you can get peat-free ones now. Basically they work really well. So I'll put this one down and we'll put the other things on, and I'll show you putting on the grow bag just to show you how it all works. I've got the other three here, and so just start by splitting the two bits of fabric apart like this, and then pop it onto one of these little pillars, as it were. And do this one. This is how I've laid it out in the past, and it always works well for me, sort of 4 in a row, but it looks like you could put them all down the front or all down the back. It's up to you. Yeah, so you could do it like that. That's how I've always done it, and then planted sort of 3 tomatoes in. Or I suppose, wouldn't hurt, I suppose, if you did it like that, and then that would keep them out of the way of the tomatoes, at the roots, as it were. So you could do it like this, and then basically you could plant in the front. And actually that might be, I might try that this year actually, see how that works, because sometimes when you have them in the middle, actually you end up touching them with your hands, you know, and they are not very pleasant to touch on the top here, but you know, quite safe if you're careful. Anyway, so that's what I think I'll do. I'll try that this year, and then the water will just come in the back. Right, then what you want to do is get a grow bag. So I use these Big Tom from Westland. It's really whatever's in the garden centre, to be honest, whatever they've got available, but I do use the big ones and not the small piddly ones. And then yeah, this you just sort of line up equally from one end to the other, and then you basically just push down, and you'll hear a slight pop as the top of the serrated plastic goes through the bag, or not. There you go. And so that actually might be better this year, because then I can put the tomatoes in front, and I'll probably put 2 or 3, and it means the blades, as they were, are at the back, which is probably better for your fingers. And the other thing, as I say here, is if you want to water, you can water into here, or I have like a hose which I have attached to divider basically, and then I can just turn on the tap up there, I'll show you in a minute, and then just feed water into here. So it can either come up the front like this, or take it over the back, and then I just have it coming between a couple of tomatoes like that, which I find actually is probably just a little bit neater. Okay, so that's how I set them up. And yeah, these are really good. I've grown all sorts of things in here, peppers, tomatoes. Also this year, which some of them might go in, are the Physalis, the Cape gooseberries, so I might be putting them in here as well, 1, 2, 3, because they've done really well in the greenhouse before. Right, I'm going to get on do with the others. Well, that's got that more or less sorted out. I've got the 2 grow bags in here. I'm using the old one up the end there because it's got one of the Mad Hatter chilies in. I'm going to put the peppers over in that corner. The 2 small hanging basket tomatoes, cherry falls, are going to go there. I've got a spare one which I might put in a floating pot. And then in this one we've got some dwarf Antho Pink Panther. I've got 2 of those, so I'm only probably going to put 1 in. And then this one is something Brick Road, is it yellow? Yellow Brick Road, which is a dwarf, which I learnt last year. You know, dwarfs don't stay that size, they tend to get about 3 to 4 foot, so that's going to go here by the door. Right, okay, I'll come back and do that a bit later because it's now roasting in here as well. But let's go and have a look at the plants that we've got to go out in the allotment, because you might be interested to see what we've still got to go out. I've got quite a few things, but they're up here sort of hardening off. So we've got a gooseberry plant, we've got the shallots, got cabbages, and we've got lettuces, we've got beetroot, peas, courgettes, and more cabbages, beans, and rhubarb, and so on and so forth. Oh yes, celeriac and fennel, and another rhubarb. So we've still got quite a lot to go up the allotment. Right, I think what we'll do now, or in a minute, is I'm going to have some lunch and then I'll grab one of these posts. We'll go up to the other allotment, bang that in. I'll show you what I've done up there because I've planted the sweet corn and the climbing courgettes up there. And then, yeah, and then we might come back here and get on with the tomatoes. My microphone failed, so I'm sort of talking over the top of this one. These are the lovely Black Forest climbing courgettes or zucchini, and I've used some dahlia stakes, thick dahlia stakes, and bang them in for that. But you can see we've got one missing, so we'll do that in a minute. And these are the sweet corn. These are incredible. I put these in a few days ago, watered them in, planted them nice and deep because they don't like to rock about. But yeah, they're all planted in a block. So here we are with the post, and just going to knock this in with a club hammer, and I'm going to miss it in a minute and nearly bang my hand. So yeah, just bang that in. It's always good with these to sort of check how you're doing them every now and again, just to check they're upright, firm it in if needs be, and then yeah, just bang it in again. They need to be quite sturdy because there's a lot of wind up on the allotment, but I think these do fine. Right, that's that post done, and you've seen what I've done with the sweet corn. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the rest of these beds ready. I actually brought down a load of compost and that green waste stuff from the green waste company yesterday, so I've got all that here. So yeah, I'm going to prepare all these beds in here and get the tomatoes in, but I'm going to do that. Oops a daisy. I'm going to do that in the next video. So I'll see you soon, folks. Have a great weekend, and yeah, bye for now.